E aí, galeras, a gente vai conversar agora com o Ian, que é game designer do jogo Multiversus e tem várias informações pra gente sobre o jogo. Bora lá? Olá, Ian, eu sou o Arthur, do Brasil, eu sou apresentador do canal Warner Play e todo mundo no Brasil tá muito empolgado com o Multiverso, você sabe. Então é muito legal falar com você e obrigado pelo seu tempo.
Of course, thank you for being here.
Nice. Let's begin.
Legal, vamos começar. Os personagens da Warner têm muitas aparências em vários filmes, em vários jogos diferentes. E como que vocês escolheram o visual dos personagens do Multiversus?
Multiversus characters.
Yeah, so I'm on the game design team, so I'm mostly focused on character mechanics and combat mechanics. So I can't speak as well to the art direction as some of our artists can, but I know it's been really important for them to find an art style that kind of encapsulates all of the different characters. And with some characters, they make that transition. It's a bit closer to some of their earlier iterations with like our cartoon characters or some of our superheroes. And with others, it's a much fresher take on their original design. This is a very different look for Arya, but we're still really excited with how it turned out, and we're kind of excited to see what future characters we'll be able to bring to the style.
Yeah.
Sim, eu tô bem animado com os personagens e eu queria saber qual que é a diferença de gameplay entre os personagens.
Between the characters.
Yeah, so each character, we really want to make sure that they feel authentic to their original material, but also translate well into a platform fighter and kind of introduce new mechanics that keep the game interesting. So, for example, Wonder Woman is very defensive oriented. She's a tank. She's going to be using her shield a lot to block incoming damage and do a lot of protecting for her allies. So when you're playing on teams, Wonder Woman's always a good pick for being a bit more aggressive and kind of soaking up the attention from the other team, while your ally, maybe they're a bit more range focused and they want to focus on projectile attacks and stay away from the thick of the fighting. Whereas other characters like Bugs Bunny are going to be incorporating a lot of kind of his various different props and various different gags from Looney Tunes. So
Yes.
he has a lot of projectiles. He has a lot of kind of traps.
All the
He throws-
funny movements, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got pies. He drops safes on people. It's very slapstick. It's very Looney Tunes, and he's going to be kind of constantly throwing out a lot of crazy projectiles to keep his enemies on their toes. So yeah, with each character, we really want to just kind of what makes this character who they are, and can we stay true to that while also bringing interesting mechanics into the game.
Nice.
Legal, e quantas classes diferentes de personagens a gente tem dentro do Multiversus?
Multiversus.
Yeah, so we have, I can't recall the
Bugs Bunny is wizard, right?
Yeah, he's a mage. So we have the
Mage.
I think there's about 5 classes currently.
5 classes.
Yeah, and that's more of a general idea of like how you can play the character. So with tanks, you're going to be a bit more defensive. You can soak up a lot more damage and survive a bit longer. Assassins are going to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more combo focused, but maybe a bit more fragile. And then mages are going to be a bit more ranged focused, maybe not as powerful up close. And support is the most co-op oriented. So support in many cases can be some of the strongest characters in the game.
Yes,
Once
Sim,
they're
eu acho que é difícil você jogar com suporte sozinho. E eu escolhi a Velma, e ela é bem complicada de jogar
Alone, I
sozinho.
think.
Yeah, and we want all characters to be viable when playing 1v1, but our focus is on the 2v2 gameplay and making sure that is kind of where a lot of our characters flourish, so long as they're still viable and competitively interesting in 1v1.
Nice.
E
And
você, tem seu personagem preferido dentro do Multiversus? Eu tenho meu preferido, é o Bugs Bunny. Você sabe como que é Bugs Bunny em português, aqui no Brasil?
Bugs Bunny in Brazil?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, it's
Ah, é perna longa, como se fosse pernas compridas, sabe?
Oh yeah, totally. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a good name here. So, do you have a favorite character?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm a little bit biased towards the characters I've worked on and spent more time with. So I'm a big Garnet fan. I spent a lot of time working on her kit. I like Arya as well. I also spent some time with her. With Garnet, she's gone through a few different tweaks and iterations, and I'm really excited with where she's at currently. She has a lot of really powerful moves that are kind of all focused on future vision. So these are moves that you need to be planning ahead, and you're going to set up opportunities for like 5 seconds in the future, 10 seconds in the future, and it requires a bit more planning, but if you can pull it off, she has some really powerful attacks.
Okay, and
E sobre as temporadas do jogo? Você pode me dizer o que a gente vai ter nas temporadas? Qual que é a diferença entre as temporadas desse
what's the
jogo?
difference of this season?
Yeah, so it's still pretty early and we're still kind of figuring a lot of that stuff out, but absolutely we will be having new seasons as the game goes on, and there will be new content and along the way, so that includes new cosmetics, new characters, new stages. But for what those seasons actually entail, you'll just have to stay tuned and find out.
Okay.
E sobre as skins? A gente vai ter que tipo de skins dentro do Multiversus? Vai ter muita skin, eu acho.
Skins, I think.
Yeah, so we have a lot of cool references, nods, and things that reference the characters in various different parts of their existence in the various different movies, TV shows. There's so many different iterations of so many of these characters, so it's really exciting to see all the opportunity for cosmetics in their history. So, yeah.
Isso vai ser muito legal. Ontem mesmo eu joguei e vi uma skin de verão do Taz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one's one of my favorites, yeah.
E qual que foi a coisa mais difícil na criação desse jogo?
This game.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things is we want each character, we want to kind of be raising the bar, we want to be introducing new mechanics, and we want the players that stick with us the longest and who are kind of accustomed to all the different characters that are already in the game to still find fresh and exciting things when they come back to play. So yeah, every time we start a new character, it's like, okay, how do we do better than the last one? How do we keep things interesting? So with Arya, there was a lot of technical challenges and design challenges with her being able to steal other fighters' faces. And that's a big part of her character in the show, and we really wanted to incorporate it. But there were so many different avenues we could go with. Where is it? Does she just play as that character completely? If you play Arya, then does that mean you have to learn every single character in the game? Are you even playing Arya then? How do we mix her current moves with the moves he might be stealing with another fighter? And then technically, just how do we get her character kind of swapping out with other characters? So there are a lot of challenges making her character, and it was a really interesting process. With Garnet too, we went through a lot of iterations of different attacks and trying to figure out the future mechanic stuff, where some of it was really powerful if you got to learn it, but it wasn't super exciting to play in the initial iteration. So some players that have been with us in some of our previous tests will remember she's already gone through some iterations. And yeah, just every character has their own problems and own challenges, but that's the whole experience, is figuring them out and making them exciting.
I'm excited too.
E pra você que tá muito em contato com o jogo, qual que é a coisa mais legal pra você dentro do Multiversus?
Yeah, I think something that's been really exciting for me, and I think a lot of the team lately, is seeing the reaction a lot of players have been having online. We just released the cinematic this week, and even when we had our initial reveal, I know people are really excited about Shaggy in this game, and just all of the reveals, and super excited to get to learn more. And also the community, I think, has just been really wonderful to talk to. Players are really excited, and we've all really enjoyed listening to concerns and discussing ideas and kind of learning from players. Learning from players is a really important part of us at Player First Games. We want to make sure the players are happy, and we're always listening to feedback, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Reddit, anywhere on the internet. So yeah, all the right now, I think it's the reactions have been really exciting. Have been my favorite parts so far.
Nice.
Legal. E tem alguma coisa que, por acaso, a gente não falou aqui que você acha que é bem importante a gente mencionar sobre Multiversus?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think the big thing we really want to push is 2v2 with a lot of fighting games being 1v1 focused. There's this whole new realm of opportunity in game design and pushing 2v2 mechanic in fighter. Yeah, so I think all the opportunities that are available when it comes to designing fighters around having an ally, there's just so much room for exploring and experimenting there that it's super exciting as a designer to kind of see all that and feel like we're kind of discovering novel ideas.
Nice, that's all.
Beleza, então isso é tudo. Muito obrigado, Ian, pelo seu tempo. Tô bem animado para testar todas essas coisas no Alpha. E é isso. Até mais, muito obrigado.
Nice, thank you.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
E é isso aí, espero que vocês tenham gostado dessa entrevista e já se inscreva aqui no Warner Play, porque a gente vai ter um monte de conteúdo exclusivo do Multiversus até o lançamento, depois vai ter campeonato, vai ter um monte de coisa, então se inscreva porque esse é o canal que vai fazer a cobertura oficial do Multiversus, beleza? Um abraço, até o próximo vídeo, tchau! E aí, gostou do vídeo? Então se inscreva no Warner Play clicando aqui e a gente deixou outras 2 sugestões de vídeo pra você.